I always say the smaller the orthosis, the harder it is. But the great thing is, the smaller the orthosis, the easier it is for you to have the materials to practice. And I mean, I always tell everyone, it's not that expensive to buy a sheet of orthosis and practice. It really, you know, yeah, it's a little bit, but you can use it in so many different ways. If you're working in a place, like I usually provide, you know, materials for everyone who's in my office to practice, but I always just tell them, like, be judicious about it. Use materials where you, I mean, we limit the amount of materials that we use, so that it's not that hard to pick. It's just two. It's, you know, if you have too many pieces, if you have too much material, then you can get kind of confused with, like, oh, which one should I use, you know? So I just kind of keep it simple. I have a thin one, and then I have a thick one. And depending on what the injury is, I'll use either. But we always keep a box of scraps. So they are, they're great because they're little pieces, you know. Like this can make so many different smaller orthoses. You can make the finger ones. You can cut this and make relative motion orthosis, or quote unquote yoke orthosis, that kind of stuff. So there's so many different uses that you can use from these quote unquote scraps, but they're not really scraps, right? They're very, they're really good for you to be able to use and make in so many different orthoses, but really just get your practice in, you know? Get your practice in, and then because you're gonna do so well, and because you're more confident, you'll make sure that you recommend the ones that you need for your patients, and then actually keep them to make them for them, right? Instead of just being like, oh, they don't need it, or oh, buy them, you know, or whatever, you know, buy them. And usually clinics, when I hear people saying, oh, like they don't want to buy the materials and blah blah blah, usually what I tell people is, like, if you can talk about money, orthosis do get paid well, and it's not because it's a piece of plastic, but it's because it's a very specific skill. And when you can make something for a patient to help them along, not only can you keep them, but you are making money, one, from the orthosis itself, but two, from the fact that they continue to stay with you, right? So wherever you are, you know, if they're making money, you'll make money. If they've got patients coming in and staying with you because of you, then they'll make money and you'll have a job, right? So that's pretty much what it comes down to.